Fellow Bama fans, if I were to ask you to name one coach on this coaching staff that you absolutely love, the majority of you would say Coach Jamarcus Shepard. Well, there is the potential that one of Alabama's most magnetic personalities and one of their best recruiters could potentially be on his way out. Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome in, Alabama fans. It's been a rough week. You take a ridiculous home loss to Oklahoma by 2 points off of 3 turnovers, uncharacteristic turnovers. College football playoff committee puts you on a bubble, piss you off even more. Obviously, I think Alabama will be fine if they win out. I think they potentially could be fine even if they lose a close one in the SEC championship game. But I'm not super confident because this committee is atrocious and doesn't know what they're doing. They don't have any real metric. Did a whole video on that, so be sure to go check it out. When you're done here, while you're there, be sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave a big Roll Tide in the comment section below. Let me know where you're watching from. Subscribing is completely free, and it keeps the channel free for you. Yeah, so I don't mean to crap on you or kick a horse. Or wait, no, I don't mean to kick you while you're down. Forget the horse part. Sorry. I don't mean to kick you while you're down, but there is a possibility that Alabama might lose one of its most dynamic, magnetic personalities on its coaching staff. Once this new coaching staff came into Tuscaloosa, there's a bunch of you who can't stand several people. I get it. But if I were to ask or take a poll, I would imagine if I asked Alabama fans, who's the one person on the staff that you're absolutely in love with, the majority of you would say Jamarcus Shepard. Coach Shep is youthful, vibrant, strong personality, very in your face in a good way, a very attractive candidate when it comes to coaching positions. And that seems to be catching up with him. He will, per on 3, interview for the Oregon State job. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, like, why would he want to go to Oregon when he's at Alabama? Well, this guy, I think Coach Shep could be a real one moving forward. He's a damn fine recruiter. He is youthful enough. He reminds me a lot of Dan Lanning. He's youthful enough. He's tapped in well enough to the recruiting age demographic now that he just players seem to trend towards him. They resonate with him very, very well. He's high energy, like I said, very magnetic, extremely likable. So I would imagine he's going to interview very, very well. Now this is not set in stone. An interview doesn't guarantee a job. However, I just feel like it's hard for me, from what I've seen from Coach Shep, to imagine him interviewing for a job at that level and not getting it. Right. The dude's just fantastic. That's why I'm making this video. What does that mean for Alabama? Well, the first question that a lot of you, because we talk about recruiting a lot, are going to have was, what about the recruits? What about this recruiting class? Well, I think the 2026 class is basically locked in, whether Coach Shep is there with them next year or not. Now, moving forward, that's where we need to consider the impact of not having a Coach Shep. Alabama would have to fill that position potentially. Head coach Kalen DeBoer would have to go find somebody, I would imagine, that kind of has that same youthful energy and can lock in. Now, some other guys on the staff that are very similar in that sense, Coach Linguist, guys like that, they're also potential candidates or could be potential candidates. Their names could be mentioned at some point in time for other jobs. So having those kind of recruiters on your staff is obviously extremely important. So I think long-term, we can have that conversation if they hire somebody else into the role. The wide receivers coach at Alabama, he's been one of everybody's favorite staff members. If you're on X, he and a lot of the other coaches will post recruiting videos to people all the time while they're out on the practice field. There's just something about him, man. There's just something about him that kind of lights up a room. And so it would be a huge miss, or not a huge miss, but Alabama would miss him a lot, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. They would, not just in a sense of him being a coach there, but just his personality, a very big personality, right? So now what's going to be interesting about this is we all know that under Nick Saban, coaching turnover was insane. Right? Nobody else kind of had that issue. I've always felt like that was part of the reason that Nick Saban was like, okay, I'm done, because you're having to worry about recruiting, you're having to worry about the actual team, then you're having to worry about constantly hiring new staff. Just a lot, right? It's going to be very interesting to see how Kalen DeBoer handles that. I think it'll tell us a lot about who he is as a coach. Can he handle the coaching carousel? I felt like with Nick Saban gone, you could look at some of these other staffs, Georgia, for instance. They're starting to have their coaches poached here or there. I feel like that'll say a lot about Kirby Smart and who he is. And same thing about Kalen DeBoer. How's he going to be able to handle that kind of turnover? Because if you wear the A on your chest, folks are going to come knocking. They're going to want you to interview because you just kind of come from a different pedigree, usually, not all the time. But usually you look around college football right now and how many of these head coaches in the college football playoff or that are vying for position in the college football playoff have once wore that Alabama A on their chest. You got Lane Kiffin, Kirk Cignetti, Dan Lanning, Kirby Smart, right? So a lot of folks want them. Assuming, and this is a huge assumption, keep in mind we're working off an assumption here. The only thing we know for certain is that he is interviewing. Assuming that Coach Shep were to take that job, he won't be the last one, right? This is part of college football, right? This is the coaching carousel. It happens on all levels, not just at the head coaching position. I think he's going to be a fantastic hire. And personally, here at Way Offsides, if he goes, we want to wish him the best of luck. And I have full confidence in the staff to be able to kind of fill that void as needed, especially considering what they're going to lose on the recruiting side. Thanks for sticking around with me. I want to hear your thoughts about Coach Shep in the comment section below. So be sure you sound off. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll see you tomorrow night live at 8 p.m. Central Time. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.